long-term 400 milligram testosterone cycles. Dr. Tony Hughes, Coach Trevor, this is Dr. Trevor. I hereby pronounce you a doctor of enhanced athlete.
There we go.
So I noticed this trend with bodybuilders in their 40s. The really big guy, I'm asking all these guys questions, and they know who I am, and they want to be honest with me, and they don't want to say who they are. They don't want to come forward on a video and say what they're taking or who they are. That's usually the case. So usually I have to tell you what information I'm getting from people, but not connect it with the people that are giving it to me so they can remain anonymous. But the trend is I'm noticing a lot of bodybuilders in their 40s all the way up through early 50s on 400 milligrams of testosterone, and they look great. They look huge. That's all they've taken. One guy was doing it for a year. He was a year into it. He looked amazing. Another guy was 4 months into it. Another guy 6 months into it, and it was working fantastic for him. So if 400 milligrams is all it takes to look like that, Trevor, remember, these are career bodybuilders. These are professional bodybuilders. These are guys the kind of guys that you walk down the street like, oh, damn, that guy's got a lot of muscle. Guys that you could look at pictures on Instagram, and they were on stage shredded and huge. Bodybuilders, not classic physique, big bodybuilders. How can they hold that with only 400 milligrams of testosterone?
Well, maybe now, it's easy now to believe that I've maintained mine with a TRT dose and a few units of growth. So that's 200 megs of test as opposed to 400, and that's every 10 days as opposed to every week. And I've been able to maintain my size where I'm at right now, or the last few months at least, at that weight at around 240s. So if I'm able to do that, that goes to show you that the dose, if you look at how the doctors are prescribing this for therapeutic, therapy, it's 200 milligrams every 10 days. That's the highest they'll ever go, and that's to put you in a normal range of testosterone. Now that's in 10 days. Now you shorten to 7 days, and you double it to 400. So your levels on your chart is going to be 3 to 4 times the normal amount of of a human. But let's just throw out the age as like a 20-year-old. So 3 to 4 times that. And how big can a someone in their mid-20s get naturally? We've seen some big natural guys. It's enough hormones and androgens to hold the muscle. The only difference is they have built their muscle through whatever means, growth hormone, testosterone, all the anabolics. Once you have the muscle, it doesn't take a lot to hold the muscle. All it is diet, training, and then you have enough androgens to supply it. All it's going to do is change the shape and change, or if it's going to inflate due to all the increase of water retention and whatnot, and the look, the hardness, and the lines, things, graininess that comes out on stage due to the drugs. That's the only thing.
There's always a secret lesson in the videos I do, guys. I'm going to start telling you what the secret lesson is. The secret lesson in this is, if you find out what someone is on today, don't assume that that's how they built or got to where they are. In business, in muscle, whatever. So these bodybuilders that are on 400 milligrams of testosterone, they ran a lot of other stuff before they built the muscle. They're using 400 milligrams to maintain it, so don't mistake that. What about for... Well, I'll just give you the answer on this one. On a bodybuilding competition, when it comes up, when these guys do compete, they go on 2-month cycles with Tren and Winstrol, Anavar, Halotestin. So they throw all that in on top of the 400 milligrams of testosterone, but they always just keep the 400 milligrams of testosterone rolling as their base all year round.
Because you're trying to lean out at that point. They're under somewhere 10%, 9% body fat or so. And then they get ready for a show. In order to maintain the size that they do have and get to that low of a body fat, you do need extra androgens and things such as that.
You said in your first steroid cycle video that you did 200 milligrams of testosterone, very low dosage, and you made great gains on it. What if someone were to do 400 milligrams of testosterone with the intent to build muscle? And is it a factor on how much muscle they're starting with?
As for a first cycle?
No, just in general, not even first cycle, just any time. Is 400 milligrams of testosterone long-term enough to build muscle?
Yeah, now if they, let's put me in perspective. If I was 250, 240, what I am, usually around 240s. If I were to go on 400 megs of test, I might be able to put some of my old pre-existing muscle on, add a little bit more weight, but I wouldn't be able to get to where I used to be. It does require a lot more, androgens in there. But somebody around, let's just put someone at 180 pounds, of course, 400 will definitely get them growing. I grew, I was 235 at the end of my 200 meg cycle. So I got to 235 pounds because I started at 225, but I leaned out and got to 235 lean. So, I mean, that's 235 at 5'9".
So the next lesson is the farther you are away from your natural baseline, if your natural amount of muscle naturally lifting is 200 pounds and you're trying to get to 300 pounds, you're going to need a lot more
Over time.
steroids for that last 280 to 300 pounds than you did to get from 200 to 220 pounds. So the farther you get away from your natural state, the more steroids it takes, right?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah. So we can get a lot more complex in science into, the things such as the growth hormone creating new cells. When you're just talking about maturing the size of a cell, it goes that, you could put a marker every 10 to 20 pounds, you're going to require X amount more androgens. And that's what the problem nowadays is people just start with all these high doses, and they're not even 200 pounds lean.
They think they want to be 300 pounds, so they're going to take the dosage that it takes to get from 280 to 300 instead of focusing on the dosage that it takes to get from 200 to 220. So I just wanted to get these principles out to you, these kind of the physics of it, the way we think of it. So you learn those couple lessons from this video using these examples. Be swell and swole, my friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.